Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we'll discuss support vector machine or SVM. Now, it is a classification technique and it works very well with high dimensional data, and it represents the decision boundary using a subset of the training example known as support vector. Now, to explain support vector machine, we should know what is maximal margin hyperplanes. Let we have a set of data and two different classes are there, say cross class and the circle class, and the data are linearly separable. And we can find a hyperplane such that all the x reside on one side of the hyperplane and all the circles reside on the other side of the hyperplane. Okay, say we can draw one hyperplane. Okay, so it is nothing but our hyperplane. It is called decision boundary. Okay, and it is called hyperplane. Now, since it is two dimension, so hence it is a straight line. It is a two-dimensional straight line, and it's a two-dimensional plane. But if it is a three-dimensional, four-dimensional, or five-dimensional data, in that case we have to use the term hyperplane. Now there are infinite many such hyperplanes possible. Now here we have drawn one hyperplane. It may be possible that hyperplane maybe looks like that. So this is one hyperplane and that is another hyperplane. Now the aim is what? Why to draw a hyperplane? That other side, one side of the hyperplane resides all the circle, and the other side of the hyperplane must reside all the crosses. Now if it is a hyperplane, all the circles are on the right side of the hyperplane and all the crosses are left side of the hyperplane. Similarly, if it is a hyperplane, all the circles are right side of the hyperplane and all the crosses are left side of the hyperplane. Okay, so there are infinite many such hyperplane possible. So we can write like this one, we can write like this way, we can write like this way. So different hyperplane we can draw, but hyperplanes will not perform equally well on previously unseen data. Now previously unseen data means what? Now suppose one unknown data is there. Say suppose the data is somewhere here. Okay, say this one. Say this is the data. This is the data. Now we want to know what is its class level, whether it is circle or it is a dot. Now if a data is here, we want to identify whether it is what should be the class level of this particular dot of this particular data, or if the data is say somewhere here or it is somewhere here. Okay, so hyperplanes are there, but the performance of the hyperplanes differ. Now the classifier must choose one of these hyperplanes to represent its decision boundary based on how well they are expected to perform on test examples. Now here we have to choose the hyperplane. Now this is one decision boundary and this is another decision boundary. The question is which decision boundary is the best one. Now suppose we assume that this is one hyperplane. Okay, now we can take some more simple data. Say this one, okay, this one, and the data may be this one and this one and this one. So the one hyperplane may be like this one. Okay, and another hyperplane may be this one. Okay, now here the decision boundary is this one. This is the decision boundary, and in this case the decision boundary is this one. Now assume this is what our decision boundary, and one data is somewhere here. Now we want to know what should be the class level of this. So two classes are there, circle class and the dot class. Now if you assume if it is a decision boundary, or if it is a hyperplane, then this particular data is left side of this particular hyperplane. Okay, hence we can say this should be the cross. But you can see here this data is very near to the circles. So definitely the class level of this data should be the circle, not the cross. But if you select this is as a hyperplane, then it will classify that this data belongs to this particular class. But conversely, if you use this one as a hyperplane, so easily we can say this particular hyperplane right side of this particular decision boundary. Now if it is the right side of the decision boundary, that means we can say this is the data which much belongs to the circle. Okay, now if it is a hyperplane, and we assume that if it is a hyperplane, if our data is somewhere here and it is a right side of the plane, that means we can say the class level of this particular data should be the circle. If a data is somewhere here, from the hyperplane we can see this is the left side of the hyperplane, that means it is the class level of should be here, should be the cross. Similarly, if a data is somewhere here, now here it is the right side of the decision boundary, we assume that the class level of data should be the circle. Similarly, if a data is this one, so this is the data, so definitely we assume that it is a left side of the decision boundary, we assume that the data must be, the class level of this particular data must be the cross. So in this way SVM can be used as classification, for classification. Okay, now say just put some name, say B1 is a decision boundary and here B2 is a decision boundary, and BI1 and BI1 and BI2 is a pair of hyperplanes, they are parallel to decision boundary. So these are what? Pair of hyperplanes, pair of lines which is parallel to decision boundary. Similarly, if it is a B2, that means B21 and B22 are the parallel hyperplanes, parallel lines of the decision boundary B2. Now the distance between these two, okay, that means the distance between B21 and B22, and similarly the distance between B11 and B12 is the margin of the hyperplane. Okay, so this is nothing but our margin of the hyperplane B1, and this is nothing but the margin of the hyperplane B2. Okay, but our aim is to maximize the margin of the hyperplane. Now you can see here the distance between B11 and B12 is much more greater than B21, B22. Therefore B1 is the maximum margin hyperplane of the given data. Okay, so our aim is to maximize the margin so that we can classify the data properly, unknown data properly, or there is low misclassification error. So definitely it is clear that why should you take maximum margin hyperplane. Now the decision boundary with large margin tend to have better generalization error than those with a small margin. Okay, so better generalization error means correctly classify unseen data. If you use this is what our hyperplane. Okay, now this is our hyperplane, and if some data is there, now it will classify, it is the left side of the hyperplane, that means we can say this is what our left side of the data, that means this should be the cross, but this data is very near to the circle, so the class level of this data, unseen data, must be circle, not the cross. So you must select the maximum margin, but if you select the maximum one, you can see this is the right side of this particular decision boundary, and hence we can assume that the class level of this particular data should be the circle, not the cross. And so here we use the support vector machine. The term support vector comes with the training data through which we draw the hyperplane. Now for this particular hyperplane, we draw with the help of this data, training data, and this training data. These two are called the support vector. Similarly, for this particular hyperplane, we use this is as a training data and this one. So these two are the support vectors for this particular margin. Similarly, for this particular hyperplane, this one and this one are the support vectors, and for this particular same this one and this one is the support vectors. So with the help of support vectors, with the help of training data, we can draw the margins or we can draw the hyperplanes. ठीक है, तो ये है हम लोग का सपोर्ट वेक्टर मशीन. हम लोग के पास कुछ ट्रेनिंग डेटा है, हम लोग के पास कुछ ट्रेनिंग डेटा है और क्लास लेवल से. ठीक है, तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ इस क्लास लेवल से हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं, हम लोग हाइपरप्लेन ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. ओके, सो ये है इसको बोलते हैं डिसीजन बाउंड्री. एंड ये जो है ये पैरेलल हाइपरप्लेन्स है जो डिसीजन बाउंड्री के साथ है. और ये जो बाउंड्री जो हम लोग बनाते हैं ये ट्रेनिंग डेटा से बनता है, इसीलिए इसको बोलते हैं, ये सब डेटा को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, इसको बोलते हैं सपोर्ट वेक्टर्स. सो सपोर्ट वेक्टर से जो ट्रेनिंग डेटा है उससे हम लोग हाइपरप्लेन निकाल सकते हैं. नाउ ये क्वेश्चन है कि कौन सा हाइपरप्लेन बेटर होगा. तो हम लोग ये जैसे एक हाइपरप्लेन है, इसी तरह से हम लोग और एक हाइपरप्लेन ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं ऐसे करके इसी डेटा से. बट ये जो इसका जो स्ट्रिप साइज है ये काफ़ी छोटा है और इसका स्ट्रिप साइज है ये सब काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. तो हम लोग का ये एम रहता है जो हाइपरप्लेन तो बहुत बनेगा, बट हम लोग को कौन सा लेना है, जिस हाइपरप्लेन का जो विड्थ है वो सबसे ज़्यादा है. उससे क्या होता है, जो डेटा है, जो कोई नया जो डेटा आता है, सपोज एक नया डेटा आ रहा है, उस नया डेटा को वो सही से वो क्लासीफाई कर सकता है. तो हम लोग का एम क्या रहेगा, हम लोग का ये एम रहेगा कि हम लोग का जो डेटा है इससे हम लोग कैसे ये हाइपरप्लेन को निकाल लें, कैसे इसको निकालें, कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये बेस हाइपरप्लेन है. Okay, now this is what the linear SVM. Okay, now because it is clearly separable. Now linear SVM are two types: separable case and non-separable. Two cases are there. So linear SVM consists of two classes: separable case, two cases, separable case and non-separable case. Non-separable case. So in the next video we'll discuss this separable case, how to identify the margin, how to identify the decision boundary, how to identify these two, how to identify the support vectors, and how to identify the parallel lines with the decision boundary, and how to maximize the width, and how we can classify. And that is the end of this particular video. Thank you very much.